If you're not sure whether you're experiencing a detox reaction or maybe you're worried it could be a flare, and picture this, right? You may be having your healing strategy down packed, everything is going amazing, you're feeling amazing, and all of a sudden, boom, right? You're experiencing symptoms that feel different or make you feel even worse. And now you're kind of confused, maybe you're overwhelmed, and it could be really scary. I get asked this very often. This question comes up in my DMs a lot of the time, and as well as people that I work with, on how to differentiate between a detox reaction and a flare. And a lot of times detox or healing reactions, as I like to call them, can be mistaken and prevent you or slow you down from reaching your health goals. But stay tuned, because in today's video I will explain to you the very, very simple way that you can understand this analogy once and for all. I will also share some practical ways that you can learn about this through your own healing and the feedback that your body is giving you. Oftentimes when you're in your own healing journey and you're having symptoms that are new or different and something that you have never felt before, it's very normal to go into panic. Hi and welcome back. My name is Nev. I work with women struggling with chronic mystery symptoms and autoimmune issues, and I help them recover their bodies and reclaim their health once and for all. I started my healing journey using the medical medium information about 5 years ago now, and since then I have reversed over 30 chronic health symptoms I used to struggle with. You can look me up on Instagram. You can follow me there because I put a lot of tips, a lot of information pretty much every single day. I have learned so much from my own healing journey when I started, and also working as a practitioner with people who I help recover their health. When I first started my healing journey, I vaguely knew about what is detox or what is a flare. I didn't even know how to pay attention to these things. And I definitely had a lot of flares happening at the beginning, but also looking back, I had a lot of detox reactions as well. But until I learned about them in a lot more detail, I had already put my body through so much struggle. I had gone through so much symptoms that I didn't really need to. So listen to this video to the end so you don't make the same mistakes as I did. And I'm going to show you how to do this process in a better fashion so you can progress your healing to the next level. Now, if that sounded appealing to you and you haven't already, be sure to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I put out videos like this every 2 weeks, and you can even request topics. Just let me know in the comments below, what would you like me to talk about next? I reckon it's pretty cool, right? All right, so let's get into today's video. So if you're really stuck on this whole thing, what is detox, what is flare concept, I really personally believe that your first step should be to learn about what is actually pathogen flare. So pathogen flare is a symptom that is caused by activation or reactivation of a hidden pathogen or infection. Now, this pathogen could have been hiding in your body maybe for a very long time. It could have been a week, it could have been months, it could have even been few years. And when I say pathogens, I mean viruses and bacteria that are harmful to your body. And as we know, we are surrounded by these ones every single day. They're everywhere around us. And this is why medical medium states that when you are experiencing an autoimmune flare-up, you're actually experiencing a viral or bacterial flare. Now, this could have happened from a variety of reasons, could have been maybe exposed to a pathogen feeding food in the very first instance. Maybe you have been exposed to pollution outside, toxic fragrances which are everywhere, pesticides, herbicides on the food that we eat, basically anything of the unforgiving four. And the unforgiving four are basically the very reason that we are sick in the first place. So those ones are viral explosion, DDT, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, radiation, and toxic heavy metals. It is very important to understand that flares can vary from one person to another. So never compare yourself with someone else going through something similar, because the symptoms can vary based on the pathogen load that the person is having at the time. And this is the reason why often symptoms can also show up as bacterial infections. And different strains of mutant bacteria have been created over time, mostly because of overuse and misuse of antibiotics that can leave a combination basically of unique strains of bacteria that will hide all around your organs and your tissues, and this will be unable to be tested for because the bacteria have kind of found a way to block antibiotics from killing them. And this is why if one person has been taking antibiotics for a long time, for maybe a prolonged period of time, the bacteria will become mutant and it will become stronger. And here's another interesting fact, that pathogens can actually live in your system for a very long time, and they will wait for a very perfect time to strike and attack. Most often this happens when your immune system has been lowered, maybe when you're under stress, maybe you're having an adrenaline surge, your hormones are out of whack, and anything similar like that. And I like to point out something very important here. An adrenaline is a hormone that is produced by the adrenals in the body and acts like a steroid, and it feeds pathogens like nothing else. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I know many, when they're having a viral flare, they're going in a panic. And when you're secreting adrenaline, the adrenaline is going to make you feel 100% more worse. And it's really important not to panic and recognize your symptoms so you can actually stay calm and help yourself from that place. Some of the very simple ways that can be overlooked and can lead to a flare can be very simple things, something like not getting enough sleep, not getting enough calories, not eating every often if you're experiencing adrenal fatigue, not having the right nutrition, not being hydrated, maybe major stressful events, even minor ones can cause this. Another thing that can be very easily overlooked, apart from the very core pathogen feeding foods, are things like natural flavors, citric acid, corn syrup, alcohol, preservatives, things that are found very commonly in our food, something like canola oil, which most restaurants use. Now let's look into the actual symptoms of a flare and how do they present themselves. Most of the time I see people feeling fatigue as the very first sign of a flare. Sleeping issues like trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, or just generalized insomnia. Also having some racing thoughts, maybe you're worried about something the whole time. Hot and cold flashes, they can vary. Spasms, tingles, difficulty swallowing, maybe even difficulty breathing, having increased brain fog. All of these symptoms can matter. Therefore, it's very important to listen to your body carefully and know the triggers that you maybe have been exposed to that could lead you to a flare and connect those two. Most commonly, you can protect yourself from a flare by having foods and supplements that support your immune system. And this is very important to remember. Some things that you can incorporate in your everyday life would be, turmeric, ginger, garlic shots, for example, or around your period when you're getting a lot of flares. Lots of fresh foods like leafy greens, juices, herbs like sage, thyme, basil. Supplement-wise, you could also supplement on vitamin C, zinc shock therapies. They're amazing. If you want to combine them together, golden seal, cat's claw, lemon balm, a little bit of B12 is also very important. Now, before we go into the next stage to talk about the detox or healing reactions, if you have any questions on flares, drop them down in the comment section below and I will do my best to answer them for you. We know the liver is responsible for the detox process in the body. So to put this in simple words, detox reactions happen when the body is pushing too hard together with the detox protocol that it's overwhelming the detoxing pathways. So this basically means that you may be detoxing at a faster rate that your body can actually handle. And detox reactions or healing reactions are basically signs that toxins are being released from your body, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing. But there is a fine line between detox reaction that puts us in a flare and detox reactions that we can actually handle. And this is why it's very important to avoid having the liver being overburdened by the detoxing process, because the liver doesn't really like to be pushed too hard. And medical medium explained to us that when we detox too fast, the liver gets overwhelmed and it's forced to dump those toxins into the bloodstream. And then at the same time, it also must quickly absorb them to protect the kidneys. And this is why if you choose to do this a number of times, the liver will basically become a lot more stagnant to detoxing, which means that the liver won't feel safe to detox anymore. And that will lead to, maybe not being able to cleanse for a very long time. And this is why it's always very important to listen to the clues that your body gives you, because detoxing too intensely can actually lower the immune system and it can lead to a pathogen reactivation. And this can end up in a very, very vicious cycle. So there are actually a few things that you can master to know if you're dealing with a detox or you're dealing with a flare. And that is by knowing the type of symptom and how long is the symptom lasting. So good way to know if you're having a flare or a detox symptom is to see the duration of the symptom and how long is this symptom lasting and what are the actual symptoms of it. So as a rule of thumb, detox symptoms last somewhere between a few hours to maybe a few days at most. So for example, if you were having a little bit of maybe sore throat and it goes away within a day or two, it definitely could be a detox reaction or a healing reaction. However, if you're having sore throat that lasts few days followed up by a headache or a fever or a strep throat, that is a pathogen flare. Some common symptoms that are related to detox or healing reactions can be basically having mild headaches, fatigue, night sweats, loose stool, sleeping issues, maybe even just a generalized feeling of being sick, having emotional swings or outbursts, skin reactions or spasms, maybe feeling a bit of a metallic taste in your mouth. If you have recently changed your healing strategy, or maybe you have just introduced a certain supplement, or maybe you're taking a higher dosage of a certain supplement, or maybe you have introduced a different healing food that you're taking a lot more of, you may experience any of the symptoms that I mentioned before. And this is your sign that detoxing is happening at a higher rate. This is why it's very important to know exactly what you have been doing so you can see whether you need to slow down things, maybe you need to increase or sometimes decrease some things at any given time. So the best way to track this is to take notes for yourself. It's very simple. You can, get yourself a little journal or put the notes in your phone, whichever one works for you. And make sure that you take really good notes, maybe the dosages of the supplements and also how you felt, so you can compare what is actually happening at any given time and make the change. All right, that is it from me, and I hope this clears out the confusion between having a detox and a flare symptom. And of course, if you're facing any of these situations, come back to this video and listen to it again so you can know exactly what you're dealing with. I really hope that this was helpful, and of course let me know if you have faced or how do you deal with any situations like this in the comments below. I would also love to hear from you, and if you have maybe anything to add, or let me know what other topic would you like me to discuss next. I also deeply appreciate your time and just for hanging out here with me today, and I will see you in the next video.